Welcome back guys to my channel. Today what I'm talking about is something totally different. Found 3 potential stadium locations that I think would be good for a team in Waterloo Region to play in for the Canadian Premier League. So I went out, videotaped these locations for you guys to see. So let's go on and look at some of the videos and I'll explain the stadium locations. So option number 1 is probably the most realistic one, as it actually is a stadium that has stands and all that. But it's University Stadium, Wilfrid Laurier's University Stadium, as Waterloo is quite a university town, and as I just said, it's in Waterloo. In 2007, there was a $5 million renovation. They fixed concessions, they upgraded those. Then they also expanded washrooms and things like that, smaller things like that, to make the stadium a bit higher quality. But one of the big problems with that is I read in a Waterloo Region article that it's still not up to scratch for the Canadian Premier League, and that they won't accept a stadium like that, so they would have to renovate that. And also one of the problems with it is that it's just one stand that holds 6,000 people, so I think it would be better to shrink that stand and then to have a few multiple stands to create a more intimate atmosphere, and to perhaps have one of the stands for the ultras, for the supporters group, because I think that would be a little bit better for the atmosphere. I went to the stadium a few years ago when KW United, a PDL team that dissolved in 2017 due to being forced to move from the PDL to the League One Ontario, which they didn't want to do. I went to the stadium. Sorry, I rambled on a bit there, but I went to the stadium. They didn't get too many people. They got like 300, 400 people per game. I heard that on the occasion they would get like 1,000 people at the game. But I went to one of the random games, just like, you know, a game of not crazy significance, and there weren't too many people at the game. It didn't have that much of an intimate atmosphere, but I imagine if you filled those stands, it would have quite an intimate atmosphere. The stadium is not the highest of quality, so I can see why there needs to be some upgrades there. It's also close to an LRT stop in the Ion. The stop is called Wilfrid Laurier Waterloo Park, I believe. It's very close to the stop. Like, you only have to walk about 100 or 200 meters to get to the stadium. This LRT was actually only started just over a week ago, which is quite crazy. So this new transportation addition will certainly be good if a Canadian Premier League team moves to the stadium location, but this stadium location certainly isn't my number 1 choice, as I find these next 2 ones are a little bit better than that. Option number 2 is probably the most unrealistic, but if someone is very ambitious, the owner is very ambitious, and fans are very ambitious, there's a chance that we could get this done. The Charles Street Terminal location in Kitchener, it's right across from Victoria Park, which is a whole large amount of green space. It's a huge park where often they have like celebrations there in downtown Kitchener and festivals, types of stuff like that. So this land is probably pretty valuable because it's deep in downtown, right across from Victoria Park. And the whole idea is that you would tear down Charles Street Terminal. It's this whole bus station hub, I should say, and we would tear that down and build a stadium there and potentially have enough space for parking. It is a little bit of a tight area for a stadium, but hey, it's in the downtown. But the reason why I think you could probably tear down the station is that right now it's only being used for one bus route, I believe, and Greyhound buses. Because of when this Ion was created just over a week ago, they diverted all of the bus routes to not going through there, except one, I believe. I'm not quite sure about that. And then they're also planning to build a new bus terminal in downtown Kitchener that will be built in late 2021, or predicting to early 2022. So I think it would be good to tear down this bus station and to build a stadium there if someone had deep pockets and could do that. But one of the problems too is that perhaps, I'm not quite sure, I'm speculating totally here, is that perhaps local government and people in the area would be quite annoyed at the idea of the potential of a stadium being right in front of one of the main attractions in Kitchener. It's also good because there's an Ion stop near there too, in the Victoria Park station. Option number 3 is a bit more of a realistic one, but not quite as realistic as the first one. It is quite, you have to take a little bit of imagination with this one. It's rebuilding Centennial Stadium beside the Odd. It's right beside the Odd, which is the local hockey arena in Kitchener, where the Kitchener Rangers play in a 7,000 capacity arena, and they sell them out. The KW Titans also play there, but they only get about 1,000 people. The Titans are an NBL team, they're a basketball team. There's not too much hype locally though about them. And then Kitchener Panthers play at Jack Couch Park, which is right beside Centennial Stadium. This is like the hub of sports in Kitchener, and it would be very smart too because Kitchener is central to Cambridge and Waterloo. So Waterloo residents and Cambridge residents could both come there, and as opposed to putting a stadium in Waterloo or going to University Stadium at Wilfrid Laurier, they could go to the stadium in Kitchener, and it would be a little bit quicker transportation for everyone as opposed to putting it at one end of Waterloo Region. This stadium used to hold 3,200 people. It was built in 1967, but they ended up tearing down the stands but leaving like the field and the track in 2012 because the stands were deemed to be unsafe. Now, I went to the track, as you're seeing in the videos, and the track is actually paved over with asphalt now. So now there's no track. Now it just kind of looks from far like there's a track, but it's just asphalt. So they would have to tear out that or just build over that. And then, you know, it seems like they use it for local soccer or something like that. But, you know, it would be great for them to rebuild a stadium that was a bit of Kitchener's history in Centennial Stadium. It would be a little bit hard to fit all these stands, but I imagine if they spread out the stands across the stadium, which they should be doing because it provides a better atmosphere, it would be quite a good atmosphere for a Kitchener, a KW, or Waterloo Region team. One of the problems with it is that since the Odd is right in front of it, it's kind of hard to see the field or the stadium if there was one there. So with that problem being said, you don't get that kind of free advertising that you get when you can see a stadium even from far, which is not quite the greatest. It's kind of weird here, this is just a random note. As you're seeing in the video, there's still some temporary stands up that are on wheels, which I don't get why they have them up there, maybe just for the parents when they come over to watch their kids play or whatever. I do think that it would cost quite a bit of money to rebuild a stand there, but it would be neat to kind of rebuild this aspect of history. And since this is the whole hub for Kitchener sports, it would be a very good thing for the region to be, it would be a very good thing for the region to build it here because it's a well-known area for Kitchener sports, being that there's a basketball team, a hockey team, and a baseball team all there. It would be great to have a soccer team there as well. So what is your opinion on what is the best option for a team in Waterloo Region? You know, do you have any other ideas? Do you think Kitchener Waterloo should get a team, and when do you think that they should get a team? Leave all those comments down below. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it and if you want to hear more content about this kind of stuff. And until next time, see ya.